Welcome back, you fellow musicians. We're not talking about gear today. It is Let's Talk Song, the series where I talk about songs and look at lyrics, chords, form, structure, all that stuff, and try to give you a couple of pointers of what to do. And obviously, from me looking at other people's songs, you can learn a shit ton. Where can you learn even more? Well, in the upcoming, sometime this year, songwriting course that my good buddy Rafael Cano and I are doing. It's going to be on Spectre Digital. It is a massive song. We have 15 hours of harmony. We have 12 hours of lyric writing and so on. We're going to look at melody writing, what to start with, inspiration, all that stuff. And this series is supposed to warm you up for what's coming. Today, we're going to look at a song from our buddy Jonathan Linton. Jonathan is good at what he does because he covers a shit ton of his favorite music, does it pretty well. And that gives him the feel and the experience and the looking at lyrics, looking at song form and all that stuff to write his own material and learn from it. So the more you do, the better you get. That's just a fact. I got some gripe with this song and I got some stuff that I absolutely love. Jonathan is good at what he does. I sadly do not have chords. Why the fuck not, Jonathan? Again, communicating your material to a producer, an arranger, or your band members is essential. How do you communicate it? How do you write down the stuff that needs to be done? Is it lyrics with chords on top? Is it a separate chord sheet with a couple of rhythms? That's important. Being able to communicate your song to someone is essential, and we're really looking at it in this series. So Jonathan failed to give me chords, which means hard for me to talk about chords. I have all these stems, so if I wanted to do something with it, I could. But what I do have are lyrics, bumps in the road. Well, he's saying the chords are just G, C, and F. What's weird about this right here, people? Is it because that's actually the chord structure that he has? If he says it's G, C, and F, wouldn't this be C major with C the 1, F the 4, and G the 5? Wouldn't you then say C, F, and G? Or is this actually the order that he's playing them in? Is the whole song with these 3 chords? We'll find out.
Trip down memory lane, hit a bump in the road, took a sip from the river of pain, got drunk from the wisdom bestowed. I turned around, put a smile on my face. This hurt, I'll never replace, 'cause each bruise took me to a place with a firm, unfortunate life embrace. So thank you to the boss in the road, 'cause you gave me the keys to break my last code. So thank you to the boss in the road. Walk some more along the memory lane. Thought about if I take the same road again, and I thought to myself, hell yeah. If I had to do it all anew, I'd take all the falls and the lessons too. I'd take a drink from the river of pain and get drunk by his wisdom again and again. So thank you to the boss in the road, 'cause you gave me the keys to break my last code. So thank you to the boss in the road. 'Cause you gave me the keys to break my last code. So thank you to the boss in the road. And thank you for the seeds that you have sowed from all those bones in the road.
The chords are G, C, and F. I'm not fully convinced. I tried to follow along, so let me figure out what he's doing with that actual riff there. Okay. So technically, if we interpret that as anything, it's a G power chord, a C sus2, because there's a D in there. That would be, that actually is a G major. It's a 3, 5, 1. So we got okay, G, C, G, C, which makes it rocky and bluesy because it feels as if the G is kind of a little bit of the tonal center. Thank you, Bruno. Which means it's hovering around the 5 chord. So that's the by the way, that's my Halabitsa QD or QT. Look at this baby. I know we're not talking about gear today, but holy shit balls. This is one hell of an acoustic, and I'm very happy to have her. That's pretty much what's going on. Okay, moving on.
Took a trip down memory lane, hit a bump in the road.
The bass to me is very busy and not really outlining the roots adequately if we're talking about arrangement, okay? Because I don't really know what's going on.
Hit a bump in the road. Took a sip from the river of pain. Got drunk.
I think he's trying to do makes sense to write those bass notes a little bit clearer.
So thank you to the boss in the road, 'cause you gave me the keys to break my last code. So thank you to the boss.
Okay, it does center around the G, which is interesting. So the chorus is it's a little bit much movement on the bass to me, but That's a nice line. Again, it outlines G major. So he is right. It is just those chords. Little bit movement in all the instruments, if you ask me. So arranging wise, maybe a little bit tighter and just getting the chords out a bit more. But let's talk about lyrics here. Take a trip down memory lane. So songwriting is all about patterns, developing a pattern, and then being able to repeat it so people have the same kind of flow, okay? Took a trip down memory lane. Hit a bump in the road. Is that how he's singing it? It's nice that he's foreshadowing the chorus there.
Took a trip down memory lane. Hit a bump in the road. Took a sip from the river of pain. Got drunk from the wisdom bestowed. I turned around.
Okay. Jonathan. Hit a bump in the road. So doing the quarter note triplets there. Okay, fine. But then stick with it. And you are. Got drunk from the wisdom bestowed. But you're doing the bestowed, which is a tough word to sing. But then you're cutting it extremely short because you're going into the I turned around. Took a trip down memory lane. Okay, so that's the pattern you've established. Hit a bump in the road. Quarter note triplets, bump in the road. Okay. Then you're doing a rhyme within the sentence. Trip and sip. That's brilliant. But you're trapping yourself there because technically you got to continue that. Let's see if you can. Took a sip from the river of pain. So lane, pain, trip, sip. Beautifully done. But again, you're setting a precedence for yourself that you have to repeat. Got drum from the wisdom bestowed, I turned a. So, wrote and bestowed, yes, there is a rhyme, but because you're cutting it so short, it's really falling short of being a great rhyme. Turned around, put a smile on my face. So all of a sudden, the pattern you've established up here is just completely gone. Now, this part, you're doing something completely different. Okay?
Drunk from the wisdom bestowed, I turned around, put a smile on my face. This hurdle I'll never replace, 'cause each bruise took me to a place with a firm, unfortunate life embrace.
And that's where you're completely losing me. Took a trip down memory lane, hit a bump in the road. Okay, pattern. You're repeating the pattern. Took a sip from river of pain. Got drunk from the wisdom bestowed. Okay, now you're going into a completely different idea. Couldn't you milk that idea a little bit more that you had established? Turn around. All of the ideas are good. It's just too many ideas in one verse. Turn around, put a smile on my face. Okay, this hurdle I never replace. Again, you're repeating the idea. Turn around, put a smile on my face. Again, you're doing the quarter note triplets. This hurdle never replace. Are you doing that? Are you doing never replace?
My face, I turned around, put a smile on my face. This hurdle I'll never replace, 'cause
Dude, you had everything going for you. I turned around. This hurdle. Why are you singing it differently? You have to recognize the pattern that you established yourself and then try to fit the next meaning, the next line into that pattern. I turned around, this hurdle, around, hurdle. That can work. But this hurdle I'll never replace. Never replaces eighth notes. You're doing smile on my face. That's quarter note triplets. So, are you doing quarter note triplets or not? I turned around, put a smile on my face. This hurdle I'll never replace. Then you have A B in terms of how you're phrasing it, but that's all over the place. Because each bruise took me to a place. I think you're doing the quarter notes there again.
Each bruise took me to a place with a firm, unfortunate life embrace.
Okay, replace, place, embrace, there. Your rhyming is there, not a problem. But phrasing-wise, I got nothing to hold on to. Each bruise took me to a place. There's a quarter note again. Firm and fortunate. That's all of a sudden you're establishing a completely new phrasing, and phrasing is all over the place. I think you should have stuck with took a trip down memory lane and kept developing that instead of going somewhere else. I know it's extremely difficult to hold on to something you've established and then fitting lyrics into it. It's much easier to just willy-nilly write new lyrics and sing them any way you want, but you're losing me in that verse. Now it gets worse when you get to the second verse. The second verse is worse. It always is. Finding songs where the second verse actually is as brilliant as the first one is very tough because you usually start with the first verse. So we got walk some more along the memory lane. That's what I would do because you have hit a bump in the road. Are you singing it in quarter note triplets is the question. Then took a trip down memory lane. Walk some more along the memory lane. Okay, maybe that's what you're doing. It should be took a trip down memory lane. Walk some more along the memory lane. Then it would be the same idea. Don't think you're doing that.
So thank you to the bone. Want some more along the memory lane.
All of a sudden, along the memory... Where have you done that before, Jonathan? Where? Walk some more along the memory lane. That's literally your first line in the first verse. So why not go back there? So we have something to grab onto. Thought about if I take the same road again. But now we would actually need da 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 da. You see what I'm doing? Like if you even look at the grouping up here, I mean, it doesn't mean it can't be done, but it's clear that this up here is not this. Okay? Second verse has no motifs that the first verse has.
Thought about if I take the same road again, and I thought to myself, hell yeah. If I had to do it all anew, I'd take all the falls and the lessons too. I'd take a drink from the river of pain and get drunk by his wisdom again.
Generally, the melody is cool, the ideas are there, they're just not formed. They're just not in a pattern that the listener can easily recognize because they've already heard it because it was established in the first verse. So those verses I would rethink and put more structure in it. Dude, you can sing, you have the rhyming down, you have the ideas down, you just need to organize them a little bit more. Now, let's go to the chorus.
Pain. Got drunk from the wisdom bespoke. I turned around, put a smile on my face. This hurt, oh, I'll never replace, 'cause each brood got drunk from the wisdom bespoke. I turned around, I'll never replace, 'cause each bruise took me to a place with a firm and fortune.
Okay. I took a sip from the river of pain. I take a drink from the river of pain. Again. And get drunk by its wisdom again. Got drunk from the wisdom bestowed. It could be referencing verse number 1. We can We can say you're referencing it. We can also say you're running out of ideas. Which one it is the question. If it's done in a clever way, fine. But I don't know. I don't know which one it is.
Life embrace. So thank you to the boss in the road.
Killer line. Thank you to the bumps in the road. I would go down there melodically because it's the first time you're hearing it. Why shoot your load right at the beginning? Okay? Thank you to the bumps in the road. Thank you to the bumps in the road is a killer line. But why go, thank you to the bumps in the road? That's a variation you reserve for later. If you have the lower one later, it's a letdown because you get nowhere to go if you're shooting your wad at the beginning, if you know what I mean. Okay. Next thing I have a problem with.
'Cause you gave me the keys to break my life's code.
It's so unnecessary to make that so bad. 'Cause you gave me the keys to break my life's. That one word that wrecked it for me. 'Cause you gave me the keys to break life's code. Done. To break life's code. Doesn't have to be your life. Can be anyone's life. Okay? And it means the same thing. To break my lives. That little bump. Prosody. To break my life. Your lyrics and the way you're singing it literally has a bump in it. Is that what you meant to do? Because that would be brilliant. You gave me the keys to break my life's code. Okay? It's got a bump in it. Don't think you meant that. Don't think you meant to be super clever there with prosody. Prosody is making it sound like what it means. Okay? Making the music rhythmically or melodically or whatever, or harmonically sound like the word. But I'm thinking, because you gave me the keys to break life's code. That flows, dude. That's great. So, thank you to the bumps. No. So thank you to the bumps in the road. You gave me the key to break life's code. There I might go up. Down, up. Thank you to the bumps in the road. You could do that. Road. Actually, road. Maybe road. Do that on the first one. Let's see. Thank you to the bumps in the road. Because that's kind of hanging there, ready to go somewhere else. Because you're in the middle of the chorus, you don't want it to resolve. So let's try this again. So thank you to the bumps in the road. You gave me the key to break life's code. Thank you to the bump. Fucking shit. I'll do this again. So thank you to the bumps in the road. That's a D, that's a 5. 'Cause you gave me the keys to break life's code. Thank you to the bumps in the road. Variations you can do, okay? Could we have another chord in there? Let's play with it. You're starting with F. Interestingly, that G is the tonal center. So this is actually Mixolydian that you're working. That's the scale. It's a bluesy kind of a approach. So we can replace, in the context of C major, the C with an A minor, and the F with a D minor. Can we do this? Thank you to the bumps in the road. Thank you to the bumps in the road. So let's see. Thank you to the bumps in the road. You gave me the keys, break life's code. Nope, that doesn't work. Let's see. Thank you. Thank you to the bumps in the road. D. Sticking with the F. You gave me the keys to break. Maybe minor, because break sounds negative. Break life's code. Thank you to the bumps in the road. Just as an idea, the F could be a D minor, the C could be an A minor, and playing around with those, you can throw in that one curveball all of a sudden in the chorus where there is a change. It's not necessary, you can totally do. Totally works, but if you want something different, that's what you could play around with. I think this can be an amazing song, and you're 90% there. Get rid of the my. Maybe play with the odd chord here or there. Not odd, I mean, we're literally talking about a D minor or A minor, where the C or the F is in the chorus. The G should probably remain the G. And working on the verses a bit, that's it. It's a great, I mean, this is a killer line. Jonathan, this is a great rock and roll song. I love what it says. I love that you're saying everything that I've done until here is what made me the person I am. Killer. Okay? You have to have suffered to be the musician. You know, I took a sip from the river of pain. Got drunk from the wisdom bestowed. That is good. This is good shit. Make it perfect shit. More phrasing and melodic, melodic and rhythmic repetition, and also phrase repetition in the verses. Get rid of the my in the chorus. Play with the chords a tiny little bit if you want to. If not, it's still fine. It sounds killer. Your production's good. It's all there, man. You are a good writer. Okay, I'm nitpicking here. So thanks for hanging and checking out Jonathan's song. We're gonna see you next week on Let's Talk Song and Animals at the end.